dad meat, bitch. Mike Finoia, John Kensil. Welcome, boys.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being with us today.
Yeah, great choice in pants, Tim. Look at that.
I know.
The Mr. Tubbs official Adidas tracksuit pants.
The super fucking retard brothers in action. We should start treating podcasts like sports teams, and we should have uniforms.
I agree with that, man. All right, so we got the pants. What should we go for tops? Fishnet tank top?
I was going to say stained tank tops. Not the band.
Yeah.
Food on them. But two birds, one stone.
Dude, how meta would that be? A stained.
A stained tank top.
And they're skinny jean, soprano pants. Like, no, that's what you'll have.
Dude, like red shirt practice jersey. Like Toots and the Maytals, like reggae lead singer.
Toots the
fishnets.
Dude, did you, Finoia is a big Phish guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not here to talk about the band Phish. I've said everything I ever need to, but did you see the video of the viral video of the guy freaking out at the Phish concert?
Which one? The one?
It was like a day ago on Reddit.
He's playing guitar. I see a top picture of it.
No, a guy in the crowd freaked out, and like they said he clawed out his own eye.
Oh, no.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh,
yeah.
Guy gorged out his, that's how.
He gouged his own.
Oh, is that his eye?
So before we watched this, we were doing skanks last night, and we were smoking weed the whole time, and I was feeling actually pretty relaxed. And then they showed this video, and with the headline, "Guy gouges out at his own eyes," and what you see in the video, it really threw me for. It really affected me on a deep level. I don't know why. Just show them the video real quick.
Wait, did he live or did he tie-dyed him?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's...
So yeah,
well, that's him.
He's in the lobby concession area of whatever fucking arena they're playing.
This is Practical Jokers. Go over there and rip your own eyes out.
If you refuse, you lose.
Shit on yourself?
Take a hit off someone's DMT pen.
Right. So yeah, that's what I'm imagining. That someone gave this guy something weird.
Yep.
It's probably combined with like existing psychological issues.
Dude.
He's totally freaked. He's slamming into stuff.
He ripped his own eyes.
And they said he can't. Yeah.
Oh,
dude, you see the blood spot
on the wall. Oh,
Jesus Christ, dude.
And I'm taking this at face value, and I'm going, whoa, man, this is a guy at his absolute darkest.
Did you see the Mexican bros smiling as they walked in?
Yeah. He's like, good thing I don't have this section to clean.
Yeah. Well,
wow, dude.
Yeah. And
get the Visine.
That's bonkers, man.
Yeah, it is. It is crazy. So this really spun me out last night. However, I did some of my own research. He didn't gouge his eyes out. He actually just bashed his face into that pillar. He had to get stitches and scratches, but he didn't.
You can't trust the internet.
Irrevocably damage himself. However, I was wondering, like, this really penetrated my brain, and I realized that one of my deepest fears is losing control. It might be the only thing that like actually scares me is like imagine one day you're who you are. You've got your problems. You have ways to address them. You have frustrations. You have setbacks. You have, fleeting glimpses of joy in your life that you kind of like hold on to as long as you can. Maybe sometimes too long. You slip back into disappointment. But then the next day, you get like kind of like tagged out. You're standing on the outside of the turnbuckle and something else in your brain takes over, and then you're just like slamming your face into a concession stand.
Yeah.
At the very least, this should make you apprehensive about getting tanked at Phish, Tim.
I thought Phish was like mellow and...
Yeah, but you know what it is though? It's a lot of like a lot of people go to any of these shows that kind of have this preconceived like it's a party and you just go and lose control. And then they realize they can't
You
handle...
lose yourself in the music?
Yeah, or just in the parking lot doing tons of... You just eat whatever.
You're just doing whippets. Your diet's not great. Your glycemic index is pretty fucked up.
People get way too cocked pre-gaming, and then they go in, and it's just like... It's an intense experience, and it's like they freak the fuck out. I've seen a lot of people...
This is why no song should be over 7 minutes.
Can I tell you?
What mark were they at when you started bashing his skull?
I don't disagree.
A Phish fan gouges ears out.
Can I tell you, people have been talking about like they can't wait to go see Phish when they play the Sphere in Vegas.
Yeah.
But people are gonna...
It's gonna be a
They're
sensory
gonna
overload.
actually fucking... Yes, they're gonna gouge their eyes out when they go to that. That is too much.
John used to date a Stevie Nicks impersonator. John, was there any tailgating for those shows?
Oh, yeah. Fat women dressed as witches, like Stevie Nicks. And
a nice healthy witch.
Oh, I know. Also, guys, if they weren't gay, they were on the waiting list. In their back pockets, there was employment applications for Bennigan's waiters.
Yeah, amazing.
You mind if I borrow the other end of that broom?
But yeah, they're honestly, you walk there and they all knew each other because they're all part of a group called the Knicks Fix. All right,
Ooh.
and Stephen Nicks mentioned years ago said at one time in 1973, I love the Wizard of Oz. So now when she sings, people give her little Dorothy dolls and Tin Man dolls and stuff. So you see all these women look like wedding cakes with shawls on, or like an RC Cola machine with a witch's hat on. Right? And, it's like Kiss isn't really the demon god. They're wrestlers. It's all pro wrestling. That's my character.
It's all kayfabe.
But there's a-holes doing that. And they go, there's the backup bass player. He's like strolling in. I go get his autograph. I look at my picture thing, and the next 3 days they talk about it. Then every November in New York City they have a thing called Night of 1,000 Stevies.
Oh, gee.
Right? And I think
That's the Million Ant March.
I think 800 have wangs, right? But the others, it's all.
Is there like one Van Zant that completely misinterpreted what it was?
Yeah. Oh my God. But that's. These tailgaters like that. But I always feel like I went to the punk rock flea market. You know, it sounds punk. It's a flea market, not punky rock. But there's a guy who
It's
had
actually more of an open air Etsy sale.
yeah,
these days.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like candles and stuff. But there's a guy always there with all the Phish stuff, and he was arguing with somebody else over what was better. Like 1995, Phish did the White Album, like Christmas time and
Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween, and whatever. But I don't know. That's they're obsessed.
Anybody that's like overly fanatical about anything, I hate.
Yeah,
I just can't get into it. Like it's just too.
I think I hate those people because I see obviously I see a part of them. I have very obsessive what would you call them, tendencies.
Sure.
And when I see someone that's just like living it, I go, ooh, I would hate myself more if I was just open about it.
What's the one thing for each of you that you came dangerously close to crossing that threshold into becoming one of them?
Obsessed or at a concert?
Like an obsession.
Phish. Like, I mean, I did for a while. Like, I went on the road. Like, we lived on the road, and I've seen him like a little over 200 times. And
but you graded on the curve. You know what I mean? That's kind of almost normal.
I think it was great because I got to see the country. I learned about like making money. And
I started a business.
I started a small business.
I started a Whippets business.
I learned about scales.
I was doing like those networking events in the parking lot before the show. Like, you're the bread guy, I'm the cheese guy. No, I had a friend whose dad owned like a company where they would like sell cigarettes and lighters and snacks to like gas stations, and he would give me cases of cartons of Camel Lights and shit, and I would just sell them in the parking lots like after the shows, and that's how I made my money.
Did they prefer those, or was that just
Camel Lights was like the cigarette of the, not a lot of Virginia Slims or Newports or anything.
Trey Anastasio mentioned Camel Lights one time in 1973.
And that was it. One funny thing, like watching that guy go nuts, I remember I was at a show and I was outside in line for beer with my buddy, and 4 security guards carried one guy out. They each had like an arm, screaming, yelling, like spazzing out, doing all like kind of lost control, like acid freak out. And he just comes to when he passes us, and he's like, "Excuse me, neither of you guys would happen to be a lawyer." Like, no, and he's like, "Woo!" Just got right back into it.
Now, when they take you out of a Phish show, does security stop and hold you up on the end of the dock before they put you out?
They weigh him. They scale.
When I was younger, it was like a kid, like 6th grade to like 8th grade, like loved wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to the Spectrum in Philadelphia to see it and watch it on TV. And I found it in Philly. New York City got their wrestling before we did, but you could get it on Channel 9 or Channel 13. So I used to get like a long coat hangers so I could watch it a week earlier.
Because it aired locally in a different market first.
But I used to go to wrestling as much as I could. I thought it was so... as you get older. But it's weird. You hear a lot of comedians say they love wrestling. Like David Letterman loves it and stuff. But I used to go to the Spectrum, and I would get tickets off scalpers, and you'd sit in the shit seagull seats flying around. And but you know how people, I just mentioned Steve Nicks getting dressed up? It's funny seeing the people in the audience dressed up like cosplay for wrestling. And the very last time I went, this was probably in the 90s, some guy who weighed about 8 pounds was dressed as Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, with
the bright jacket.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had a homemade, like a kid's megaphone. He's walking around at the top level of the arena, like, woo, yeah. and he was drunk, and he had a pitcher of beer. It was a plastic pitcher. I'm surprised it was at the Spectrum, so that's how long ago it was. But he put it down on the top of the railing, knocked it over. I'm like, oh man, I don't know where it went. So I'm sitting there with my ex-girlfriend and her 2 sons. We're there. 2 hulking guys came running up who got the beer smacked on their head, and they beat the shit out of them. Holy shit!
Nice. That's also in character.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
So hit him in the head with a folding chair. But wrestling was so great when we were kids.
Oh man.
It really was.
Roddy Piper and that stuff was great. And you guys are younger than me, but then Stone Cold, that stuff was hilarious.
Yeah, it was cool for all of the, the children of broken homes to have male figures.
Exactly.
Like steroid freaks making each other bleed.
100%.
Man, that does cool shit.
There's a local guy who maybe wrestled once or twice on a card show for the WWE named the Blue Meanie.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
Brian Heffron.
Local legend.
Yeah, nice guy. You see him around a lot. And that Blue Meanie is one of the characters in a Magical Mystery Tour.
Yeah, the Beatles.
Yeah, the big circle eyes. That's how he dressed. Well, I accidentally went into a adult romance video house.
Adult romance.
Called Excitement Videos. And he was working behind the counter. Right? And I was so embarrassed, right? Because I was living in California for like a year, and I came back, and I was in there. They had a real good gumball machine. I liked getting gum. I'm in there, right? And he goes, hey, you're in the 700 Club, right? And I go, what? I don't know what that meant. Like I found religion in this porno place, like the 7, like that religious.
Pat Robertson.
Yeah, and he goes, no, man, you have 700 rentals. I go, wait a minute, I had like 3 rentals. Here, my nephew had my rental card number, right? He was using my card.
Yeah.
Right?
Was he rewinding at least?
That's right. It wasn't VHS. I found they were doing, but 700 in a year, so that's
a lot.
Yeah, right.
Too big.
Here, what they were doing was they were taking them, and they had a bank of VHS machines.
Oh, duplicators, yeah.
And they're selling them.
Bro.
So the guy thinks I'm a porn addict, and it's right?
700 Club. Did you get your own mug? Like he gives you a fucking box of tissues to hang from the ceiling.
Pornography addict? I'm actually the uncle of an entrepreneur. Thank you very much.
And
I will take that copy of Wet Faces 8, though. Thank you.
I told you before, when I was in there, they had a wall of all the porn stars that died. And almost all of them like OD.
Oh no!
But it was all like, and like people were into that, like dead porno star. I'm like, you whatever.
You go and light a candle.
Yeah,
Like a 9/11 memorial.
Yeah, really.
and this place was there was a high end video store, like a high end, right? But you ever see those shitty ones in like a strip mall? So it's just XXX, right? I went in there. There's a comedian, Mike, knew him, but named Mike, the X-rated bus driver. He's got a slow son with a shaved head and Megadeth tattoos on his arms. And anyway, he goes, "Can we go in there?" He's a little bit. He goes, "Can we go in there?" And here, there was a go-go dancer who must have run her day job. She was the clerk. And he goes, "John, where's the counter?" I go, "Over there." And he walks up to her and he goes, "Do you have Ass Blaster 7?" Right? And the girl goes, "I don't know. Go over an anal." Right, like they didn't have a computerized system. Like,
anal.
Yeah, if you go to Blockbuster, do you have this? Like, this is one of those places where the films were made in like a Motel 6. I went to Temple University for communications. Like, you think, oh, Stern comedy, all that stuff. Right? In real life, though, you gotta take anything. So I sent resumes out to radio stations and video houses to get jobs. The only bite I got back.
Blue Meanie.
Adult romance
From 700 Club LLC.
Was a guy in Bristol, Pennsylvania. He would get raw footage and he goes, "Can you edit these down?" And like it's like one of those 10-hour spectacular splooge fest Dr. Fellatios.
Dr. Fellatio.
You know, one of those.
His Italian doctor.
and I didn't take it, but I did went to their site and I saw some of their productions, and the mob's all involved in that.
Yeah.
But it was my favorite line in the back of the box, the blurb, like Siskel and Ebert say, "Go see this" or whatever. New York Times. It said Tom Byron says, if you don't jerk off 15 times this movie, you're either dead or a fag.
Wow.
It's set
Just
on-
this on the back. Wow.
Two fist up.
Oh, man.
I'm blown away by how big some of those ones are, like the VIP super warehouses and shit that are
man.
just like the size of a Costco. It's like, how many people are shopping in these things? How do they stay open? That and battery stores. I don't understand how a battery store stays open.
I've never seen a battery store.
it
There's a
is.
store called Batteries Plus.
Yeah, I hear it on the radio.
Like double A's or like car batteries.
Yes.
Oh
I
God,
think
of
it's
course.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Watch batteries and shit.
Every meeting is just like, we got to get a way to tap into the Latin American porn making community. 'Cause these fucking smoke detectors need us desperately.
November 4th and 5th in Edison, New Jersey is Exotica, the adult romance.
Didn't we agree to go?
You guys
Yeah.
have been talking about going to Exotica for 6 years
I think
now.
It's
Mike's gonna freak out. Mike's gonna gouge his eyes out of Exotica. He just has a history of mental illness.
It's like every Phish show I've ever been to.
that's
Have you ever been?
yeah, like the past like five years, and it's weird. It's not like you think. It's like
I got to travel the country.
I sold cigarettes or something. I saw Paul Malls in the parking lot. It's actually in one in Edison. It's not that far away, but it's real clean. If it wasn't porno, it was like them selling like hot tubs or whatever. Like it's not like sleaze fest. It's not. You think it's like scummy? It's like a horror convention. Only instead of horror, it's
Dude,
Anal.
horror. Kensil, I've been holding this in. I've been meaning to tell you this for months now. I was flying. I forget where I was at an airport. I was heading down to baggage claim. I was with McCusker. It was probably like Raleigh or something. We were heading down to baggage claim, and there was a guy on our flight who was being pushed in a wheelchair by like airport staff taking him from the plane to baggage claim, and it was like an old, like deteriorating white guy, like big glasses from 100 years ago,
Like Uncle Junior glasses, kind of?
yeah, kind of, and like his spine was kind of just like fusing to his shoulder on one side, and like it was clear that this guy just doesn't even move in the chair a lot, and he's got like a grumpy face on, and he's kind of like you're pushing me too hard, like that kind of attitude. And we're kind of just like giggling over our shoulder every time we see this guy giving like this fucking 24-year-old black girl a hard time. And we get to the baggage claim and we turn around and
I know what you're gonna say.
Matt won't stop laughing, and he goes, "Yo, dude, you have to see this guy's shirt." And I look, and he's wearing a black T-shirt, and it says, "Excuse me, I'm an AVN VIP."
It wasn't Ron Jeremy.
Fucking Larry Flint.
Bro, this guy wishes he had Ron Jeremy's physicality.
Oh, man.
I went there.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, I'm an AVN VIP.
Please to meet
It's funny that you mentioned the AVN. That guy's from Bustleton who started that.
The adult video news.
Yeah, and they say
The only honest journalism even fucking happening on the planet right now. Yeah, what's the adult video news saying about Israeli-Palestine conflict?
they have good
It's the NPR of
I like their recipes, but they have at the porno thing. They have a bank of what do you call it? The people doing the not OnlyFans, like the individual. They have laptops up, and I'm telling you, anybody there's not all the girls are models. That's what I'll say. And Mike's son likes the doughy girls.
The slow guy, Mike, the X-rated short bus driver.
With the Megadeth tattoo?
Yes, yeah, and he like you want a beautiful girl like Riley Reid or one of the other ones or whatever. These girls look like they couldn't get hard like hot.
These girls looked affordable.
Yeah, and how much you can picture taking with her? $50. How much for her? Like I'll pay you $5. Right? It's but there's they have seminars for this and that.
For what?
And massages or
Real estate.
How do
Are you sure these weren't seminars? Thank you, buddy. Proceed.
That was incredible.
Thank you. Continue the story.
how to get your partner involved in S&M and stuff like that. But
You gotta hit them and see how they respond.
who's the porn stars? Balls are hanging down all the body part. Stone.
Evan Stone.
Evanstone.
Not the big bodybuilder one. That's Lee Stone. This is the
Evan Stone, long hair.
Yeah.
The one that's kind of got like David Lee Roth face.
Yeah,
a
right.
Bit.
He does. He does look.
I always thought he looked like Triple H.
Yeah. When you watch the movies, you think he's like 6'5" or something like that. He's shorter than I bet he's 5'8".
Tim, that's
And,
triple penetration.
But he has all frat boys lined up to get pictures taken with him. And
Interesting.
He's like cop pose he pretends he has a gun in his hand. And you're back to back. But I get my picture taken every year.
Is he a nice guy?
Real nice, funny guy. But he's got to get that testicle lift. It's like oranges and sweat socks. It's gross.
Do you do a pose with him every year, or is
Yes.
it just what's the pose you do?
No, the cop one.
You do cop?
I got it on my phone somewhere. But it's the
He
same
does
one.
girl on vacation pretending to hold the sunset behind him with his balls. Leaning Tower of Pisa on his boner.
It's like 2 kids and a dog with matching pajamas in front of it. Like Merry Christmas.
On your tummy with your
end.
feet kicking up behind you.
Yeah, totally.
But they had a girl there. She's an adult woman, but her name is like Tiny Tasha. She's like 4'2", right? And it's really creepy because she looks like John Benet Ramsey, like, right? And there's people getting her picture taken. I'm like, that's a weird fetish. I don't want to. Who wants to walk by and go, oh, look, I got that little porn star 4 feet tall in my lap.
It's just so funny to picture you at the convention, like your arm is just covered with like different shopping bags full of like limited run fleshlights, and you look at these guys, you're just like, what the fuck's going on with them?
Now, does he make her get in the picture with you? It's like, all right, cop pose. Now one with John Benet slam me.
Slam me.
All right, now we're investigating her murder.
But you see old porn stars there.
Yeah.
You realize too.
Virgil's also there.
I swear to God, I was just going to say something.
I'm sorry.
Like no, not that. But like the has-beens who like I said, Ron Jeremy walking like he's. I know porn's a scummy thing. He's the scummiest person on the face of the planet.
He's in prison now, right?
Yeah, and I think he's faking being
faking being in prison.
dementia or something. Like, he has like his hair turned all white, and because he like 38 women charge him with stuff, and they're there, but what's her name? Stormy Daniels was there, and I'm looking at her, and she's sitting there, and nobody's getting her autograph. I'm like, you're the one with the whole Trump thing, and she's. Trump called her a horse face, and I think he's got a point there. She's long. She's long in the tooth. When she was younger, but
she's low in the tooth.
But then you see some girls are just gorgeous. Like,
Dudes are throwing sugar cubes at her.
Yeah.
Were any of your favorites there?
Yeah. What's her name? The blonde. I can't think of her name.
Younger or older?
She's probably like 35.
So ancient.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like
She's like an NFL quarterback.
Who's the old lady who still makes
Brayton Manning.
She makes like how-to videos for sex.
Katie Morgan?
No, she's older than her. She's an older lady. She's got to be 65.
Oh.
But she's been around for forever. But now she makes how-to videos. But my God, you look at some of these girls like, oh my God, this girl's like perfect. And you wonder, in your mind, you think something happened to her family or something.
Oh
drove her
yeah,
to porn.
dude.
Of course.
Yeah, there's
me.
her brain is a fucking cabinet full of bats just waiting to fucking.
Rhodes. Her last name's Rhodes. The blonde one, Rhodes. There's another girl named Lana Rhodes. Gorgeous. I'm like, whatever happened to her? So I did a.
Is it Jesse Rhodes?
Jessica Rhodes. Jesse.
That's intern Dylan. Not
Thank you, Jessica Rhodes.
She's really good.
Thank you
That's
for your
sweatpants.
extensive adult romance knowledge.
But there's another one named Lana.
I think you have a journeyman for the next trip.
There's one named Lana Rhodes, and she's perfect, right? But I said, whatever happened to her? She hasn't made a featurette in a while. And here she got knocked up, and she said it's one of the Lakers.
Whoa, good for her.
But my God, it was funny too. You watch
Jackpot.
I mean, you watch and you think, oh man, she's so sexy, and you think in your mind the prettiness means her personality is. But sometimes they have like a little interview before the porno, and the girl's like, yeah, you the one.
And you're like,
John, dude.
There's like you like I would jump out the window.
John, is there one that comes to mind where the personality matches what she looks like?
Some are. Some are only like they're like they're not the most, but they seem like a fun girl.
Right.
What's her name? the one all the Muslims go for, that
Mia Khalifa.
Yeah, right. She got in trouble the other day, right?
Oh yeah, she crossed the IDF.
And she's Lebanese. She's not really.
Yeah, she drew a picture of Muhammad while she was sucking dick.
Dude.
Oh, but also when you see the films, when they first start, she's pretty. Look at her right there, and then they do a lesbian film, a solo scene. The next thing you know, they're with like the Utah Jazz in a back room of a thing, like the Harlem Globetrotters and the Washington Generals triple teaming her.
That's where they make the most money.
Yeah. That's when you say I'm ready. Like basically, I think from what I understand, your entire adult romance video career is you like you're kind of like getting your feet under you, kind of getting some stability, and then it's like I'm ready for the ultimate test, and then it's either like first anal scene or blacked.com.
It's like the girl version of becoming a defense contractor. It's like, yeah, you're going to make a lot of money, but your family is probably going to end up devastated.
Oh, and it's weird too when you go to their profile page. I was like, oh, she's here. She's in a cheerleader outfit. Then the next one, like someone hit her with like a super soaker, filled with mayonnaise. Oh, God. Like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's threw it all wall.
A super soaker filled with mayonnaise.
They have, in the beginning it says, "Don't steal this film." This is registered in Chatsworth, California, 90038. I mean, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Some of them say, I was really amazed that, they what do you call that? They got it notarized, but it had Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm like, I'm looking out the window. Do I recognize any streets or?
How many college credits do I need to become a porn notary?
When I went to Temple for video, a friend of mine went to he got notoriety for making good videos for the communications class, but he worked for Vivid out in LA.
Oh.
And he worked for like about 3 months. I go, what happened? He goes, they said I was too artsy. I go, what do you mean? Like he was setting up like, Martin Scorsese-esque shots for a porno film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept doing fucking.
What's my motivation?
Video and blow.
Yeah.
I kept trying to do like a rack focus pull shot. They weren't really into it. It was kind of a reference to Rear Window and.
Yeah. More romance than adult romance.
What? What's going on here?
So for these festivals, do you get like a multi-day pass? Do you get like a discount if you buy more days? Like, what's the scoop?
You know what's weird? If you could make a fake newspaper site you work for, like I work for the Kensington
The Philadelphia Cum Times. Hi, yes, Miss Rhodes, John Kensil, Philadelphia Cum Times.
But I think it's like $50 to get in, and like on Sundays because I guess they get there late because I guess they're all at mass. No, when you go there, they're all hungover on Sunday mornings. Like, yeah, we gave me I'll sign it. It's like not really into it, but they
Still their jacket on and the full cup of coffee.
But because you're in Edison, New Jersey, all the dregs of humanity that live like Bronx and Brooklyn, the Queen, in Upper North Jersey and in Pennsylvania, they come out of the woodwork. You see monsters like. Ugh.
I'm wondering about the and obviously this would be informal, but. Racial makeup of the crowd. Is this mostly white guys or mostly Mexican?
Allow me to guess before you answer, John, but I'm going to say Hispanic.
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah. There's a huge, what do you call it, group of that. I just find I had to delete my phone. I needed more memory in it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it was a woman that looked like. Remember I showed "Give Me a Break" with
Nell Carter.
Looked like her.
Cause I sure need one. Give me a break. Yeah.
It was her in like a leather bustier, walking a guy on his hands and knees dressed as a dog, and a black guy and a lady, and it's like, and then they had no problems at all walking through the crowd. They're like, it's like a Renaissance fair, only instead of King Henry VIII with a ham hock, it's.
Did he have to pretend to be a pit bull?
Probably, right? Then sometimes they have some performers there. They have a girl. She has a metal G-string on, and she hits it with a grinder, so sparks fly in the audience.
Oh, that's cool.
Other girls on trampolines, trivia contest. But it's actually
weird.
Just guys selling
There's a Scrabble tournament.
Yeah, bacon and bingo early. Scrabble tournament.
A bunch of sluts with wiffle ball bats to their brains, twisting around in circles.
So
Busy slut
three-legged race.
Yeah, like that thing with the spoon on the egg. But it's like the Mardi Gras. That's what it is.
Of Edison, New Jersey.
There's a 95-man ookie cookie. Just all, whatever you're into, there's a game.
But there's booths, people selling T-shirts and.
They should have carnival games where like you squirt until the balloon pops in the clown's mouth, and then you get like a Def Leppard mirror.
In the clown's mouth.
Now seems like a perfect time to thank our sponsor, Manscaped.
9 Mexican kitchen workers standing in front of the clowns with their mouths open.
Filling their Poland Spring bottles.
So I want to take a second to thank our sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped, Tim, I don't know if you know this, but Manscaped has leveled up, and so should you. Woo! They sent us some nice shavers, which I cannot wait to use. Dude, I'm still in the lawnmower 2.0. That thing is still going like
kicking.
a fucking 65-year-old prostitute. But if Manscaped has leveled up, and so should you. They've launched the 5th generation performance package, which features the all-new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This thing, it can go for up to a fucking hour. It has a special travel guard on it now, so if you got that bad boy in your luggage, it's not going to go off without your fucking thumbprint on it.
Oh, wow.
So when you're going for a close shave below the belt, you want the best of the best. The 5.0 features 2 interchangeable blade heads with 3 length setting combs and waterproofing. You can get any look anywhere. Tim, I got to be honest with you. I haven't shaved my pubes in a while, so I'm kind of a train wreck.
Honestly, when you took your shirt off and I put my hands up to prevent you from pressing your torso into my face, I had 2 handfuls of that gristle you got going on.
Yeah, I should have given you
Holy
like a
shit.
fucking Gallagher tarp before we started today, just in case my shirt came off.
That's
You know,
But I am going to get cooking
that's
here.
a tough lawn, bro.
I'm going to get cooking now with my new fucking shaver here. So it's the Performance Package 5.0. And you get 20% off free shipping when you use promo code FATBIRD. And you can do that by going to manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with promo code FATBIRD at manscaped.com. But, bro, I almost feel guilty opening this fucking thing up because the Lawnmower 2.0 is still fulfilling all my needs.
Yeah, you're gonna like throw a cover over it and leave it in the garage. And
Yeah.
your grandson's gonna discover it someday.
Do you have a travel one though? Do you have a travel one and a home one? Home and away?
No, I just have it in my home. Because
Yeah.
like if I shave, like as hairy as I am, if I shave, like I'm good for a while.
Are you?
Yeah.
you know, it's where I'm a little bit older than you guys. When I talk to my friends, like you're having drinks at a bar or something like that, and you go, when you get older, you go, you should be attractive. You know, and I use the word groom. Do you groom yourselves? Mm-hmm. And my friends look like I'm crazy. All right. I'm like,
I do have a leash around my neck when I have it on me.
I look like I'm crazy, but I'm like, and they think I'm crazy. I'm afraid of cutting myself. I go, that's what you use, that product.
I've never had any
All right,
issues with it.
nobody's ever had it. And I'm like, I ain't going nowhere near there. And you know, it probably looks like Questlove in a figure 4 headlock. Like,
Oh,
like
yeah.
just like. Do you think a girl wants to see that fucking coconut?
You're talking to you're talking to alcoholic mailmen day drinkers. They're honestly, dude, they're below the waist of their pants is probably similar to under a couch in their house. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Cat
I'm not even-
balls.
It would be gay to even look at my own penis.
Yeah. And
Let alone like
Shoveling pants.
trim it.
And I tell them to just groom that area down there. Like, you ever watch the romance movies? The older guys are, right? And like I'm crazy. I'm like,
Oh,
you think a
man.
girl wants a sweaty guy delivering mail all day?
I would love to. You know, what would be a
Oh,
great.
man.
You know, what would be a great feature would be if we could go in to like a neighborhood bar, like the 4 p.m. like old dudes just gotten off their shift, drinking too much before they go home, and we could see. Let's have a pube off with these dudes.
Oh,
if
wow.
I'm Manscaped, I'm dumping $1 million into this idea and selling it to BBC.
All right, so for pube off, are you determining who ends up with the best shaved privates or who's got the biggest train wreck?
I mean, we've got different ways that you can win. You've got the most improved. You've got the best overall. I mean, we could treat it like a dog show, really.
Yeah. You're really good.
Different breeds.
You're really good. Smells.
Italians.
the best Mr. Dog Show.
Yeah.
But
It would be like width and then height and then also girth.
Yeah.
Like you could do a whole lot of different.
Yeah, and then you might have guys who like that their entire penis is obscured by their
like-
the
kid and
pube
play.
bush.
Like it's a ghillie suit.
the kid and play hair thing down there.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I started realizing too. Like I use like a product like that or a Gillette Mach 3 razor. Or this, my idiot friends as they get older, they weren't like raised to be, modern stuff. They bought those bags of pink Bic razors in a bag and disposable ones like that. They rip your face apart. That's why they put.
That's more masculine to them, though, dude.
Yeah.
Putting freaking what's that high karate cologne on their balls.
Oh, going into like a public gym bathroom and just slapping that shit on there.
What's that?
Aquavelva.
What's in the white jar of the pirate ship, Old English or no?
Old Spice.
Old Spice, yeah, like that. Ugh.
Yeah, that was before they started making flavors like fucking
Damn.
wolf cum.
Yeah, really, right? Wolf cum. Romantic. Wolf cum.
And
John,
yeah.
they probably can't stand when you show up at the bar. Like, God damn it, he's going to come in here and bother us about our penises.
Yeah, I know. Right? It's fine. It's fine. They'll see a hot girl and they go, man, I like to fuck her. Right? I'm like, you think she's like, ooh, oh, no problem, milkman. All right, come on. All right. I'm friends with a milkman. That's what it means, right? This is a friend of mine, but the last girl he went out with, she came over his house dressed as a schoolgirl, with the checkered Britney Spears video with the skirt. And
How old was this woman, John?
she was probably at the time 38, and skinny, but
At the end of a rope.
yeah.
She's more of a night school.
Again, an NFL quarterback.
Yeah. But
Fighting for custody with every last breath.
for 2 weeks, what she was doing, she was trapping them. After the second week, she asked to borrow $500 for experimental medicine. And he goes, all right, I'll write you a check for the doctor. And she goes, oh, no. The doctor, he only gets his stuff he gets off the market from Mexico. And he only sells it in 2 doses for $500 each. So she took $1,000 cash off of him. Like, what are you, simpleton?
Wow.
Right? It's all a scam. And it went on for about 1.5 years. She took about $12,000 off of him. Right? And he goes, I was such a fool. And he goes, I even went out and bought a book on how to please a woman with cunnilingus. Right?
But this is the milkman you're talking about?
Yeah, right. And he said, what do you do?
This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts.
He's also a Civil War reenactor, right? Pennsylvania, right? And he's telling me a story. I'm sitting there going, I can't wait to tell this on Dad Meat. Right? And he's telling me, I'm not exaggerating the story. It's totally true. And he goes, I haven't been with a woman since my divorce. And it was like, his daughter's 30, so 30 years ago. He goes, I had to go out and buy a book on cunnilingus. He's the one I talk about grooming yourself, on how to please a woman. And he goes, and he didn't tell me exactly what the book was, but he goes, she took $12,000 off me, and I had my tongue in her ass, right? And she did this to me? And I'm like, ugh, I would never go. And you have to get one of those...
I would have had him demonstrate. I would have said, well, what kind of moves did you get from the book?
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you do to
You
this
should
speech?
bring him to the festival.
Yeah, I would pay for him to come, John.
I wouldn't go near, like, if you, like...
In his Civil War costume.
With a fucking thing of milk. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, he's really into it.
Make way! I am an AVN VIP. Stand down! He's got a saber.
Excuse me.
Philly's the history, the Gettysburg and all that stuff.
The bell and stuff, yeah.
There's a battle of Brandywine. He does Revolutionary War battles, too. He went there to do it recently.
Doesn't she make films for AVN?
Brandywine. Yeah. and he goes all the way. It must be authentic clothes. And he goes, so I'm in the regiment, and I go, I told you this before. Can I ask you a question? When you do these Civil War battles, reenactments, how do you know when to die? And Mike, he looked at me like I was a crazy person. He goes, you just know. I'm like, you idiot, right? Like no one says you go to or gonna die. But he told me he was really into it. He paid a lot of money for a musket and shit. But he goes, the last battle I went to, the guy next to me was wearing shoes from Payless, not pilgrim shoes with belt buckles. I go, what are you doing? And he said, oh, my feet hurt. He goes, I'm quitting.
He gave it up. That was the straw that broke the.
He bought a book for it, How to Please the
back.
Confederacy.
Oh, but I wouldn't.
I imagine there's a lot of just like 65-year-old autistic guys like pretending to shoot a gun and going, I got you.
Yeah.
No, I got you. No, I got you. You're down.
You missed
dude.
me. Yeah.
Also, you said he just got this dude got grifted for $12,000 from a chick.
Yeah.
He's buying like muskets and pilgrim belt shoes, and he's a milkman.
Have you seen milk
Make
prices
this mu-
lately? Yeah. Have you bought a gallon of milk?
Is it oat milk?
But you probably have friends you hang with just for their stories, like just what this guy did.
Right now?
Yeah. John,
I want to be friends with
John,
him.
I have terrible news.
Every morning he calls me with some, but he tells me stuff. Oh, but I wouldn't, he doesn't think about things. Like he goes on Tinder and the other dating things, and he goes, he just turned 59. And he
Happy
said,
birthday.
Yeah, and he says, I want a girl my age because we have things in common. I'm like, yeah, you both like Foreigner, right? All right. I go, no, you don't. You can go with any woman you want. You don't think you have to age it. Plus, you're with a 60-year-old woman when things start falling apart in her body and they don't care about breaking wind when you're on a date and stuff. And I go, don't you think about things like like I go, so you go on a date with a girl. He goes, yeah, we're going to meet at some Mexican restaurant. I'm like, that means she'll be gas all night freaking long. Then you're gonna put your tongue in that area. I go, you know, don't you think about these things?
Did you read the fucking book?
Yeah. Chapter.
Cunnilingus starts at dinner, dude. Listen to the police.
If I was
Listening to the police.
Sting's been going on about this for fucking 30 years.
Yeah, exactly. I would go get a spray hose for your shower head, but like the 1950 Alabama high school fire hose, right? Like, what are you doing back there? Hold on a second. You got to blow that area out like a sand blade.
You need to seriously
Bring the
chill,
dog inside.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So wait, are you telling him to go younger?
Oh no, he won't go younger. I go, you get
You're trying to convince the Revolutionary War reenactor, 59-year-old man, he needs to go younger with women.
Yes.
Yeah.
When he got divorced, he said to me, "Can I ask you a question?" I go, and he
got married?
He had a daughter, so he was probably 35 when he goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I go, "What?" And he goes, "What's this clitoris thing?"
Oh no!
Like, no wonder you're whatever. All right, like he didn't know anything. Like every boy,
Poor wife,
dude. You might be his only connection to the outside world.
Dude, I love this guy.
I'm friends with a Philly cop, and cops have that, what do you call that, dark sense of humor.
Yeah, something like that.
A sense of humor.
What's that? Hair trigger finger.
My friend's a cop. Goes, look at one of these cops threw in my locker, and it was a dildo with a suction cup on the end of it. And we go over to my friend's house, and he when he wasn't looking, he threw it in his bed and put the sheet over it. So the next day, this is a Civil War guy. He calls me and goes, "Who the fuck did that? It's a fucking funny. My daughter comes over and does my house for me, and she might see that thing." And so the next time we had a barbecue, when the cop was leaving, he stuck it on the door of his car. Go, "See you guys," and we drove down Route 130 in New Jersey over the Brooklyn Bridge with a dildo flopping like that. He finally found it like when we stopped to get at a Wawa. And he goes, I could lose my job over this. I'm like, really? There's a law?
Dude.
Gosh, dude, your dildo's writing checks. Your body can't cash.
Dude, the way you live your life makes, like, I imagine you go home at night to a treehouse behind your friend's dad's house. It's nuts.
Yeah, this is awesome. Are these all your friends from high school?
Yeah, grade school too.
You're a Bart Simpson reenactor.
Yeah, I love. I just sit back and watch the shit around me.
How's Millhouse?
Every day he tells me stories. Not too far from here, that way, about 4 miles, is the SPCA in Philadelphia. All right, and it's funny because we're in this rough neighborhood here. There's people turning in chickens, from fighting roosters and stuff. But I may have told you this. He called me one day at 7 a.m. and I'm about to go to work because those pretzels aren't going to sell themselves. And I'm going to go to work, and he goes, "John, where's the SPCA in Philadelphia?" Breathing real heavy, and he goes, I go, "Why?" He goes, "I was sleeping after delivering milk all night. And all of a sudden, I felt a heavy weight on my chest. I'm laying on the bed, and I can't breathe. I'm like, and I go, what? And he goes, all of a sudden, I felt burning in my eyes and a foul taste in my mouth. And I go, yeah. And he goes, I wake up, my cat pissed and shit in my face when I was sleeping. It climbed on my bed and sat, and he told me that. And I would never tell anybody in this world. I would never tell God that. I would never tell a confession or anybody. I would never tell that story anywhere. I said, the cat.
That's shit.
Yeah, and he goes, I got to throw the sheets out. I had to throw the mattress out. Everything. This freaking cat. So he wanted to take the SPCA to get looked at. And he put the cat in the carrier and the vet there said the cat's demented, and he put it to sleep.
Oh,
so he came up with another cat, and the cat was not friendly at all. It liked Mondays and hated lasagna. Not the all cats. But would you ever tell anybody that story?
No.
All right.
Yeah, you have to kill the cat yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would
shit and piss.
That's not the first time I've heard that story, but it has the same impact every time.
Damn, dude.
Dude, imagine like you're just some poor soul volunteering at the SPCA, and a fucking Civil War reenactor comes in covered in cat piss and cat shit.
Pussy cat shit.
He's got pubes sticking out of the bottom of his uniform.
Oh God!
Just a pilgrim with a fucking crazy cat. That's insane.
I need you to kill this thing.
Yeah.
Can I eat your pussy, please? I read a book. He's got a book in his hand.
I got to return the book soon. Have you ever gone with him to any of the Civil War reenactments?
Yeah. It's you talk about weirdos. I sit back because it's like weirdo Mardi Gras. I'm not involved. I'm not wearing any Civil War shit. But you see, there's guys who like they don't break character. They'll be general whatever food. They won't break character. It's crazy, and they live for it. And
General food. Yeah, general food. Yes, Captain Crunch.
and general food. And they're all.
What side's he fighting for?
He's a northerner. He's a northerner. Union guy, right?
For the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Not the Grand Union.
I may have told you before. They get together on weekends because you can't do Civil War shit every weekend. Like there's not many battles, so they restored an old what do you call it, cannon, and there's like 8 guys. We're all working on like the end of a car wash, rubbing the wheels down and putting polish on it. So he has a know-it-all friend that he hates, and the guy says, "Hey, you know that term, bite the bullet?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, that's when they did Civil War surgery, and when they were cutting your leg off, they would put a bullet in your mouth. You bite down on it so you wouldn't feel the pain.
Oh, my God.
And he goes, yeah, that's when they find bullets, lead bullets and musket balls with bite marks in the fields. So my friend, the milkman, Civil War guy, says, excuse me, but that's not true. The guy goes, what do you mean it's not true? He goes, when they find bite marks in the bullets, that's from like some animal finding it later on, like a deer or a pig or something, chewing on it, squirrels. And he goes, in fact, when they did Civil War surgery, they would put a stick in your mouth, like a bridle, because if you have a bullet in your mouth, you bite, you could swallow it and choke to death. So they put like a stick across your mouth and you bite on that. And then his friend didn't like being shown up, like corrected. And the guy says to my friend, he goes, yeah, where are they going to get a stick?
Oh, wow.
And so
he shot him with a cannon.
They just shut up.
Damn.
That is crazy because they all know there's no sticks in the revolution.
There's no
That's
sticks.
tough, man. That's tough. That guy took one day out of drinking himself to death. And he tried to just hit him with a little bit of trivia.
He bought a Civil War musket.
And he ended up in a wizard battle with another guy.
Oh, yeah, we can't do the Civil War thing because there's a freaking, what do you call that, Renaissance? There's other guys, the cosplay guys are dressed as...
Oh, LARPing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LARPing versus the Civil War guys. That would be cool.
God. Have you ever seen that? You ever go to a park and see those guys doing that?
Yeah, we've been trying to
video.
we've been trying to get involved in one for a field trip, and we ended up we went to an armored combat event where dudes were dressed up in medieval gear and fighting as like with blunted weapons, so they weren't like stabbing and cutting each other, but it was all like the right weight.
Really?
Right. And it was some of the gnarliest shit I've ever seen. Like I can remember one shot. So you know what? Let me set this up really quickly. There was one guy that kind of dominated the entire day, and they had this area fenced off where they used like 2x4s to create like a pen for these guys to fight in outside in the grass. And they had different rule sets. They had like 3-on-3, and you were eliminated when you got knocked down. So you could just trip a guy, knock him down. But for the most part, and you saw this a lot in the 1-on-1s, even with the different weapons, it was like 2 guys facing off with one weapon that they've been practicing probably way too much considering it's 2023. Yeah.
Mirror.
And they would do like a little bit of like fancy stuff, and then it would just be like you could see them breathing, and they would just be swinging it like a baseball bat at each other's heads. Whoa. And there was one guy who was so slick with it. He wore an all black suit of armor, and I noticed in between like matches and fights, he'd be standing against in the corner of the wooden pen with his arms up and like his feet kind of crossed, and he had a babe with him who was in like medieval like slut gear, and she had long hair, and they were playing nu metal over the PA, and she was like singing along to Evanescence and like banging her head. Dude, this was the coolest guy ever. And they would get in, and he could do cool moves, like it'd be like shing shing shing, and then crack right in the side of your fucking helmet, dude. And they were hitting. It was like it would ring your ears just being
whoa.
Crack noise.
So
what do you think? It was like wiffle ball type like material, or was it like hard?
These were metal swords that had
actual metal swords.
Yeah, and they had no point on them, and they actually checked the edges to make sure they were at least like 2.2 millimeters wide so that it wouldn't cut. But like they were these guys were wearing authentic armor, and they were denting it. They were breaking the armor.
Holy
by hitting.
shit, dude.
So nasty.
Dude, someone's axe got stuck in someone's face mask.
Holy
Yeah, dude.
shit!
Yeah, it was
Wow.
pretty fucking hectic. Yeah.
Were there horses? Were they doing like
No,
that
this
joust?
is not quite that level, not quite medieval times, but definitely way more legit.
Yeah, like
with the
local
dudes fighting
park
in the mud.
fucking mud
Yeah,
fights.
Yeah.
And maidens. Did she have her like rope tied so her fucking she had
Dude,
Sydney
I kind of
Sweeney?
want to talk about this right now. That was it was crazy, and it was like freezing out. And she started off wearing kind of like more like a modest thing, but then as the night went on and the fire dancers came out, she was like really letting it go and fucking.
Once
banging
I
her
started
head.
doing like fiddle, like Dave Matthews on a fiddle around the fire. I wonder if there's a medieval acoustic guitar player. Like he just plays a flute. Fucking.
Bing, 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 bing. All right, this next piece is a bit of a new one. Then Tudor is going to be the die that's going.
Oh, I hope you have the time.
Well, it's certainly something unpredictable, but in the end, it's correct.
In downtown Pennsylvania, they have a Renaissance fair. It's like acclaimed. It's an outdoor. It's not like some just put together in a park. It's a big, like Disneyland. Like what's that restaurant called? Medieval Times.
Medieval Times.
Right? But my ex-girlfriend, if you went there, it was like $30 to get in. But if you came in costume, they would take $10 off.
Okay.
So I don't have anything like that. But she had like bustiers and stuff. But so
I made do.
yeah, so she got me that pirate shirt in the back of like a Victoria's Secret catalog with the shoelaces here.
Yeah, yeah.
And it didn't look like anything. Like the Seinfeld wasn't even like that. So we go to it and let us in. Well, this couple comes in, and they were dressed with car tires with spikes, like something out of a post-apocalyptic nightmare.
Mad Max.
Right? Yeah,
Road
Mad Max,
Warriors.
right?
Yeah.
The guy goes, "What are you supposed to be? This is like you're supposed to be from the Renaissance. I don't know what's that, the 1400s or something, right before." And they got into a big argument because they're dressed like, Mad Max movie, Weird
Yeah,
Science.
the Legion of Doom. Ooh.
Yeah, Legion of Doom.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what Legion of Doom.
Yeah, we've actually driven 3 hours to exploit a loophole in your Renaissance fair. And we would both like to save $10, please, and thank you.
I remember seeing at one point there was like a Renaissance fair in Colorado, in between Denver and Colorado Springs, and they did like a reverse 911 call and called everybody and said like an actual African lion like got loose from the fair, and they were like, "Bring your pets inside," because they thought that like a lion would just start like eating dogs and shit. They
we go
found it in like a
backwards?
Whole Foods parking
What's a
lot.
reverse 911 call?
Not like they call the houses, like the police. Call
This is a
the-
reverse Hakuna Matata call.
talking backwards.
like this. The state or the city calls the people.
Okay, and
Timon and Pumbaa place to call.
Like, yeah, have you seen our?
starts.
Yeah.
You should actually be quite worried.
I'd like to go to a Renaissance fair at some point.
It
I
seems
bet that
pretty
would be a
chill.
fantastic
It seems,
place to
it
do
seems
it.
impossible to not enjoy yourself, but then you do also kind of have to act like it's gay the whole time, unfortunately.
Of course, yeah. Like except the turkey legs and like then drinking out of like a
The
mason jar-ish type ale.
and there is the one
Heavy
up there.
fat slot contingent.
with
Lots
bustiers
of-
and-
yeah.
That helps the vibe, you know.
Of course.
And there's a couple of King Henry VIII's walking around, but they have jousting. And for some reason, they have an elephant and camel rides. I don't know what that.
They have like fortune tellers and shit,
Yeah.
right? All that weird shit.
And those, what do you call
A
those
lot of
guys?
mental illness.
Oh yeah,
Tons.
Who's the guy who tells us the storyteller in front of the crowd? And this is the story of that, blah, 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 blah.
An orator?
But
What
that
Like
would
the
you call it?
jester.
The jester guy, yeah.
Okay.
He was always the smart guy in the
Yeah,
Shakespeare
Yeah,
stuff, I think, right? The fool.
but
That's what I always told myself. I'm the jester, dude. I'm so smart. No one else gets it
smart.
except me. I'd be sitting there at school, not even reading the story, just like
I'm too
nice,
smart for this
dude.
book.
Yeah, this guy doesn't dress like all these other fucking dorks. Oh yeah, he's just cracking jokes and not paying attention. That's me. I'm the best.
Me.
when I went there, wasn't really in costume, but there's strings on it. But they did ask. I was, fucking around. And they go, "Do you have any questions now about it?" Right? And they go, "Because you're dressed in medieval clothes, you might be asked to participate." I'm like, ugh. And I just, as a joke, I said, "What time's the live beheadings?" Right? Guy goes, "I don't know. Hold on, let me ask." I'm like, I walked away. But it's crazy.
Dude, was it cool dating a chick in a band?
No, because this is like No, because how many Stevie Nicks maniacs are out there? Maybe years ago there was.
I lost count a long time ago.
I need more hands. I count.
Was it hard? Were people like into her? Like because a chick that sings.
Were they? Was she playing for crowds or was she playing for empty bars?
Empty bars.
Okay.
Casino lounges and stuff.
All right, so that's our first 0-1 switch. Now in these empty bars, was she like, I'm killing it up there? This is it. I'm the rock star, or was she just like, damn, fucking no one again?
No,
they didn't even turn the game off.
2/3 of her bloodstream's Klonopin, so she didn't give a shit. She didn't give a shit.
She really committed to the role, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow.
Took my mood until
She did.
See my reflection.
And she was in a band called the Marino Brothers, and they're like
Fleetwood Hack.
Italian guys. Yeah, exactly. That's what it was like. And she sounded more like Cher, not that. She was like, turn back toe. Like, she didn't sound like Stevie Nicks.
All right, that
was great.
Can we get a little bit more of that?
If I could find a way, do that line.
You think she'd be pissed if you became a Cher impersonator, John?
That's a serious fucking household.
But that was just, it's just, and I don't know, sometimes in life, I always look like it's like this John Kensil show where you watch the weird shit around you. Like this is crazy, everything, especially in the comedy. We do see fights at comedy shows or just people, it's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I've been seeing a lot of lately is people passing out and injuring themselves.
Yeah, New York Comedy Club, that one in the East Village. On Saturday, a couple weeks ago, this chick walks out. So have you been to that room? For people who don't know, there's a bar and then there's the showroom.
Right.
2 doors that go into the showroom. There's a booth. A woman walks out of the showroom, passes out, gets up, takes 2 steps towards the bathroom, knees buckle, she passes out again. So the staff runs over and they're like, call 911. I call 911. She goes, you got to let me up. You got to let me go to the bathroom. She gets up, goes into the bathroom, and there's just, dude, a gigantic pile of shit on the ground where she passed out. But it had she shit the emoji. Like it had it was like a swirl cone. And we were all just like, what the fuck? And the manager walked over. And he goes when he got close enough, he goes, oh, the smell is in my mouth. The smell is in my mouth. And he goes running out. And he's like dry heaving. Dude, they rolled up the carpet. It was one of those like red runner carpets, rolled it up with the shit obviously still in there, threw it out on 4th Street.
Whoa, and then they sliced it and served it. Oh, wait, you got a little carpet shit.
The lady's in the bathroom. She's like, I'll clean it. I'm sorry, whatever. She clogs the fucking toilet, right?
John, can you hook her up with Al?
The milkman? She the paramedics came and she was like trying to go back into the showroom, and they're just like, I don't know where you're from, but like when you pass out twice and shit on the floor, like the night's over.
She's gonna go on Facebook. They kicked me out for shit too loud.
You can't shit.
I'll laugh at the comedy show.
Dude, what we were trying to figure out is like, how did she fall and shit and not pancake her shit?
She was fat, wasn't she?
No, she was tall and thin, and she was wearing like a big like flowy dress or whatever. So we think that when she passed out the second time, she shit. The dress opened and she kind of fell like around, like
she was a Stevie Thicks impersonator.
She was like the Wicked Witch when she was melting. But dude, just a nice pile of fucking.
This is something women aren't prepared for. Women aren't prepared physically to contend with an emergency shit situation. I'm sorry to say it.
They just leave it like a baby they don't want.
Looks like a Devo hat on the floor.
Yeah, she really did. She probably didn't even.
That's very true. Like a little kid's like Tonka set parking cone. It was nice.
She probably didn't even know what she was feeling. She probably just ran to the bathroom in a panic, not even knowing that she was about to shit herself.
Right. Passed out twice on the way.
Passed out twice on the way because she was probably drinking too much, and her diet's probably not great.
Yeah.
That's I told her before, but that's so when I hit shit like that.
Dude, I got a colonoscopy yesterday.
Ooh.
And
no, I mean gross. I don't know why I made that sound. I don't know.
I took an Uber there and back because you can't drive.
Right.
And I was walking out of the colonoscopy center towards my Uber, and I shit my pants, but I shit lube. And so is that shitting your pants?
No.
That's like burping.
It's like burping.
Yeah.
It's like when you burp and you get a little bit of. But I'm like in between the building and
That's
the
a
Uber.
loogie. You pooped a loogie.
I kind of did, and then I sat in the Uber because it's like
Probably, did you squish your butt cheeks back and forth? Yeah, of
I
course you
did.
did.
No,
I
I don't
did.
need to say. I'm just gonna go doggy style the entire ride.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
I got in. He's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Can I open all the windows?"
Could you move your seat up, please? I got a little bit more scooting to do.
Literally just scooted the whole time, and I got out of the car and I left like a fucking. There was a mark. There was like a big old fucking
An Uber,
oily stain.
but was it a guy? There's a guy who enjoys curry, like like.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if he enjoys curry.
A
I know.
curry
Tit for
American.
tat.
Yeah. It was a Jamaican gentleman.
Oh.
I don't know if he enjoys curry, but
The guy I was telling you about with the guide on how to go down on a girl. He's supposed to get the colonoscopy every 5 years or something, right? Well, if you ever the prep kit, you go to this pharmacy and it just mixes with any clear liquid. You can drink ginger ale, clear ginger ale, Sprite or whatever, right? He goes, I just couldn't do it, John. I go, you mix it. It's almost like saline solution, where it just rub through your body. I go, it's not like years ago. They used to give you like the big jar of vinegar. It's just awful. Now you mix it, you can dilute the taste. And he goes, I just couldn't do it. I'm like, you pussy. You turn your head back. You don't even taste it. Like, go down your throat. And I'm going, you do it. You have to do it. There's things in our lives you don't want to do. You have to do it, right? So he goes, so they gave me laxatives instead, and they gave me an end of the day before the. I'm like, that's even more embarrassing to get your freaking colonoscopy. And when I had done, I was so embarrassed because it's just your ass and going to the bathroom. Right, so the place I went to, these women look like cave women who went to medical school. They were like the Geico caveman sister, but they were monstrosities. who prep you, put the gown on, go down over there.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, thank God, because it deals with your ass, right? And so I go into the room.
It is the most embarrassing part of your body.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, right. And so they bring me into that other room. And the girl who was assistant doctor was like Miss Pennsylvania 2010. She was gorgeous, right? And I'm like, oh, she's seeing my ass.
yeah, there's nothing worse, right?
Like, check it out, babe.
And I said somebody as a joke, I was going to swallow an Alf bobblehead, so they go around and they see it. Right?
It's like, whoa, just Alf eating a cat and your fucking small intestine. Those things are rough.
Yeah.
Danny, is my pumpkin still here? Damn it.
And
I know a lot of people say they won't get anesthesia because they're like scared to die from anesthesia. I think that's how I want to die.
oh yeah.
Do you think you enter heaven with your pants around your ankles?
Yeah, definitely. But I don't care about I think that's a great way. You're basically getting put to sleep, and then you just die. Like, what better way could there be?
Oh, I thought you were about to say.
Some people don't do surgery. Like, I know a buddy, a friend had ACL surgery and he stayed awake for it. Ugh. They did a local thing, they can just numb it. He's like, I just don't trust.
I think the fear is, and there's been enough cases as to where people become conscious, but they can't verbalize that they're awake.
That's like Tales from the Crypt shit.
That's what too. When people say they're on the hospital bed and they're operating table and they think, oh, I saw God and I saw a bright light. No, because your senses woke up while your body was still under. So you see the light from the operating thing and your ears work. And you hear the guy go, oh, I got to save this guy. People are going, oh, no. I heard Jesus saying it's not his time.
God was talking about getting his Mercedes back from the shop.
Exactly.
It has to mean something.
He just needs to hit his deductible before he dies.
Give me a Greek salad.
You guys ready to switch over to the Patreon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
let's do
hanging around?
Yeah.
Cool. Mike, what do you want to promote, buddy?
My special, Don't Let Me Down, comes out November 9th on YouTube.
Yes.
Just YouTube at Mike Finoia. My podcast is Comes a Time podcast. I co-host with O'Teal Burbridge from the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
And that's it. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
John,
I do a podcast called Kensil Culture. Check it out. With a K, not cancel culture, but it's that. And sometime in November 17th, I think I'm taping a special with Wid.
Awesome.
Ooh.
He just turned 70, and he's never had a proper, people have him film at bars, and they're going to tape me at the same time. And
Where are you guys doing it?
1675,
Distillery.
but not the one you went to. There's another one, Trevos. It's a bigger one. So check out John Kensil online or on Facebook.
Please, friends. Also, this weekend, Cleveland, St. Louis, I'm coming your way.
Yes.
Thursday night, I'll be in Cleveland at Hilarities.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty fucking pumped. It's one of the coolest places I've been. And St. Louis Friday and Saturday. You can go to timbutterly.com to get tickets to either of those. I'm bringing Rob Cruz and Danny and Noah. We're gonna be fucking really getting stupid and making some field tripping content while we're out there. And we just love to see as many of your faces and smoke with as many retarded guys as possible. Also, follow my YouTube channel, youtube.com/timbutterly. There's a lot of fun stuff happening over there, and only more to come. I think that's all I got for now. Danny, is that it? All right, that's it. Thank you for your time.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Wait, Carnival of Combat.
Oh yeah, carnivalofcombat.com. November 4th in St. Pete, Florida. I'm boxing Louis J. Gomez. Danny's fighting Paco. Harrington is fighting Alex Stein, who it might be one of the funniest dudes I've met. That came out of nowhere. And we have a new Wigger fight since Dylan found a way out. We've replaced that with Drew Montana versus Term K from the Palmer Squares. That actually is a better fight technically.
It's a Wigger take all.
And Naeem Ali versus Jamar Neighbors, I think, is still on. So it's going to be a heck of a time down in old Florida. And yeah, carnivalofcombat.com. If you can be there, get tickets. If not, there will be a way to stream it. And man, I can't wait to show off all my hard work and then never care about boxing again.
Hell yeah, buddy. Before we go, I just want to mention my book, On Percs. You go to onpercs.com. Dude, I'm doing something so fun. Anybody who orders up until December 31st of this year, I'm including you in a chance to spend the weekend with me. Next spring or summer, the date is of the winner's choosing. We're going to have a weekend together. I'm going to fly you into Philly. It doesn't matter where the fuck you're from. We're going to pick on the first dad meet of 2024. We're going to pick a random order number. Whoever the guest is going to pick the random order number. And whoever that person is, I'll hit you up. I'll fly you in.
Is there a start date to this?
No, it's from order number 1 up until the end of this year.
Gotcha.
So
Great.
if you were the first person to order, thank you. You're eligible for this too. We're going to pick a random number. And included in that magical weekend will be round trip airfare, your hotel stay for the weekend. We're going to get pizza at my favorite pizza place, which is Pika's Restaurant in Upper Darby, PA. We're going to the Phillies game with Chris Wood and Ryan Shaner. I'm going to have a screening of MacGruber. And then we're going to do a Philly True Crime tour.
I'm coming to the MacGruber screening, by the way.
Oh, yes. I'm inviting all the boys.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, dude.
Yes.
I would love it. All the boys are invited, so you're going to get to chill with all of us. And I will make it a magical weekend. Yeah, we're doing the Philly True Crime tour to cap it off with Jake Matera and John Del Calo. And time permitting, we're going to piss on my dead 5th grade teacher's grave.
Oh, nice.
Miss Laporte, you rotting cunt, go fuck yourself. You've got at least 2 liters of piss coming your way, you fucking dumb bitch. But yeah, we're gonna hunt down her grave. We're gonna piss on it for making me feel like shit. She used to scream, "Oh, look who it is!" Oh, tons of fun every time I walked the door. And I was a very bashful kid, but that's neither here nor there. I want this weekend to be about you. So anybody who orders up until the end of this year at onpercs.com, order a copy of the book. You're eligible. And also, I'm writing letters to your haters. If you want a personalized letter to your hater, I will gladly write that for you. I have that available at onpercs.com. And hater season is upon us, boys. So
Bundle up.
Yeah. Consider yourself warned. And we'll see you over.
No, actually, on Percs bundle up, right? Oh, bro. Yeah, that's for the website.
But yeah, we're about to go over to patreon.com/dadmeatpodcast. If you're not a patron yet, go there, pay whatever you want. There's never any stipulations in regards to what you want to pay. Pay there, come hang out with us. Yeah. And
Awesome.
We'll have fun for another hour with Mike Finoia and John Kensil.
Thank you.
Thanks, gang.
Yes.
See you guys there. Love you guys.
I totally forgot I have DC Improv dates this weekend.